And there's some new worries about terror and U.S. security this Sunday morning following reports that the would-be doctors of death, as they call them, in London had looked to try to come to the United States. The guys were educated professionals. They seem to hardly fit the typical terrorist profile. So are we doing enough to screen for this potential type of terrorist? A Republican Representative Phil Grunge of Georgia, Democratic Congressman Bill Pascrell of New Jersey join us live now to talk about that. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bill, let me start with you. You're from New Jersey. Back in 1993, the bombing of the World Trade Center, those terrorists were in your area. Are you confident that there are no foreign doctors perhaps now who could be secret terrorists?
I'm not very confident in the visa program right now, to be very honest with you, Eric. In fact, the efforts in the last, the aborted immigration bill 2 weeks ago in the Senate, part of that was to increase the number of what we call H-1B visas. Those people are going to come to this country if companies can't find workers. I'm very suspect of that. There's not been good monitoring. If we cannot monitor within the laws that we have on the books right now, then I can't guarantee to you, in the answering to your question, that we're really have a handle on who's coming into this country. We have a right to know who's coming into this country. You know, I've been very, very strong about this in the past, and I will continue to be. So I think it's we should tip our hats to those in England and London and Scotland who've gone out of their way and done a terrific job. The intelligence there is from the ground up, and I've always felt that that's the best way to defend Americans.
You know, Congressman Gingrey, your colleague, mentions the visa waiver program. Astoundingly, 15 million people, 15 million a year come through this, and President Bush wants to expand it. Is that a mistake?
Bill, it's a huge mistake, and Congressman Pascrell is right in talking about certain visa programs like the J visa program, but we're talking about here this visa waiver program where people from 27 countries, mostly Western European, they're our friends, and certainly back in 1986 we were not worried about global terrorism. We were promoting tourism, in fact, and those people from those countries that have a passport, no visa at all, you stamp their passport, they can come into this country for up to 90 days for tourism or business, and we've not tracked them, we've not kept up with them. The Patriot Act called for a U.S. visit identification system where each one of those countries would have to have a passport based on biometrics where we could screen when they came in, and that we would not allow any terrorists to come in like these characters, these physicians, my God,
well, you just hit
from
a point.
London.
You just hit a point. What's astounding is these guys probably wouldn't have raised any red flags. They're doctors, two of them,
no.
They said applied to the Educational Commission from foreign medical graduates in Philadelphia. So, you know, in all likelihood, they would have come right in.
Easily. They would have come in. In fact, some of them, as you point out, were trying to get into a Philadelphia hospital.
Phil, one of the major problems, I think you'll agree with me, is that the Labor Department does not have a system of monitoring these IT or information technology jobs or highly professional jobs, whether these are doctors or engineers, as one of them was. And if they attempted to come into this country, whether they would be on any watch list, I don't know. Maybe Phil does, but I don't know.
Well, so, Bill Pascrell, what do we do about it?
Well, we have to be more careful. Our intelligence has to be better, and we have to monitor those folks that are coming into this country. And I don't care where they're coming from or what they look like or what religion they profess. Don't forget, if you read about these 8 people, you will see that this is a very, very loosely knit group. These aren't the Keystone Cops, though. Don't get your, you know, make sure that you understand that. These are people who meant to kill and maim and destroy, including themselves. Thank God they were not successful. So we need intelligence from the bottom up, and we need cooperation between countries in order to stop the spread of terrorism.
Let me stop you right there. Running out of time.
Just one more point, if I could quickly make, and that is the Al-Qaeda link is very dubious at this particular point.
Well, Phil Grunge, what do we do right now?
Very quickly, Eric, what we do is adopt my legislation, H.R. 1342, which stops temporarily the visa waiver program until we can put in place U.S. visit, and we have enough people and resources to be able to swipe these biometric cards, passports, and make sure that we're not letting any potential terrorists come into this country, and including physicians.
Capitol Hill, the White House, Phil Gingrey has the bill. Phil Gingrey, Bill